Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the Elections Amendment Bill 2018 number 33 be read a second time. Madam Speaker, the principal objective of this bill is to amend the Elections Act and the Election Offences Act with a view of enhancing the transparency in the electoral system. Madam Speaker, the Election Act 24 of 2011 was enacted in 2011 to provide for the conduct of elections to the various political offices in the country and to provide for the conduct of referenda. The bill comes against the backdrop of the 2017 general elections and the several by-elections conducted thereafter. A central feature of an electoral system, Madam Speaker, is a functioning democracy in the right to free and fair election, which are characterized inter alia by a process that is transparent and administered in an impartial, neutral, efficient, accurate, and accountable manner. Accountability and transparency are obligations not only placed upon the Independent Electoral Commission, but also on all actors in the electoral process, including candidates and their agents or representatives. Madam Speaker, Clause 2 of the bill proposes to amend Section 2 of the Act to insert the definition of the word declaration form to mean a form containing the tallied results of an election. Currently, the word declaration, which is extensively used in the Act and which has been the subject of misinterpretation in the election word in Kenya, is not defined. Madam Speaker, of the Elections Act 2011 makes provision for the determination and declaration of results by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. These provisions outline the procedure of the initial tallying, announcement, and declarations of elections by the constituency returning officers to the final declaration of the results of the elections of the President in case of a presidential election. Clause 3 of the bill proposes to amend Section 39 of the Elections Act to have the presiding officer, the candidates or agent in an election, sign the prescribed declaration form for the election. The bill also makes provision to the effect that the presiding officer shall immediately announce the results of the voting at the polling station before communicating the results to the returning officer. The amendment proposed in this bill, Madam Speaker, are intended to shield the winners of the previous losers who are present during the counting and tallying of the votes by intentionally declining to sign the forms in order to challenge the results. The bill, therefore, seeks to not only ensure the validity of the electoral system, but to cushion the justice system from abuse of court processes. Therefore, Madam Speaker, the presiding officer thereafter shall request each of the candidates present to append their signatures and shall provide them with a copy of the declarations of the results. A copy of the declarations of the results shall also be affixed at the public entrance to the polling station or at any place convenient and accessible to the public at the polling station. Further, Madam Speaker, Clause 3 of the bill provides for instances where a candidate or agent has an objection to the tally of the result to represent in the declaration form. The presiding officer is expected to note down the objections. Madam Speaker, the Election Offences Act provides for elections. Clause 4 of the bill proposes to amend the Act to provide for the offences by a candidate who refuses to or fail to sign an election returning form as required by law. Provided for in the Act as a fine not exceeding 2 million shillings or to imprisonment of a term not exceeding 5 years, or 2 or both. Madam Speaker, to enrich the debate on the content of the bill, an amendment that I shall move to and during the committee sittings. Madam Speaker, one of the main reasons why I thought about this bill is because we spend millions and millions of shillings going to the campaigns, and then as a person who has been sure that all your votes are tallied, Madam Speaker, this process where elections are, first during the ward levels, the constituency level, goes all the way to the county headquarters level. We are all, a lot of election petitions, but result of the one form being altered. Madam Speaker, these are things where we experience, and I think it is good. Millions of shillings fighting for our position in the courts, where I felt like sometimes Kenyans were in the business of just abusing. You Form 38A. Form tallies with B. But then when it comes, all of a sudden, that a candidate refuses to sign, then goes to court. What I'm looking for in this bill, Madam Speaker, is a situation whereby if the law says you must sign the declarations of the results, you do sign. If you refuse to sign, then, Madam Speaker, if you proceed to go to court, which is your right, allowed to rely on those forms because you refuse to sign. So in this case, the amendment sought here is to ensure that whether or not you agree with the results, sign them. Go to court and tell the judge, I do not agree with these results. But if you refuse to sign and you proceed there, then what are you going to argue, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, this is a bill which will save a lot of money for this country. The money which the taxpayers pay in order to ensure that IEBC sends a lawyer to represent them. The candidate pays a lot of money, the one who has won, so that he can be able to go, and at the end of the day, he's still declared the winner. And in most cases, a lot of those people who lose do not end up paying the award which is awarded to the person who has won. So, Madam Speaker, this is a that a lot of senators will give time, look at the amendments that I'm proposing, because it is something which can be able to help them individually. Madam Speaker, since this is just one or two amendments, I do not intend to take more time on it, and I would like to request the minority leader, Senator, my name is James Aggrey Orengo, to second it.